Can you believe? Robbers disguised as hostages like a comedy. They not only took off their hats and masks, but also rallied the other hostages to join their little rebellion. What a crazy team-building exercise. Just as the mood was heating up, the buddies suddenly showed up outside. They dragged their disguised buddy into another room, and as horrendous screams echoed, the remaining hostages practically glued themselves to the wall. Luckily, the boss robber was not slacking off. He and a buddy swaggered over to the bank's vault 392, cracking it open like they were performing magic tricks. Inside was a top-secret document, and underneath were a dozen black bags filled to the brim with shiny diamonds. It's like a treasure chest for them. Meanwhile, Fraser decided to take matters into his own hands and called the robbers, only to be told that he must have everything ready in time. Was at a party where they'd harm the hostages, so he had to stall. Getting a jet isn't easy, no time for alternatives. But the robbers were having none of it, and just when the tension peaked, the mayor showed up at the heist like a real-life superhero. He didn't care about the case, he just wanted Fraser to get Madeline to the bank, a political comedy. Compensation became the central issue, and he reluctantly agreed under the mayor's pressure, like a low-budget negotiation. After another call to the head robber, Fraser said someone wanted to meet. It felt like he was lining up a surprise guest. Who is this? I don't even want to take that call. It felt like a play with no script at all. As long as I can ensure the interests are protected, I can help you. What an inspirational line. Surprisingly, a few words from Madeline convinced robbers to meet. Is this effective communications power? She entered the bank alone, was searched by robbers, and met the boss. Without hesitation, Madeline told the boss robber that they were already surrounded. She even laid it out that the police weren't providing a plane. The only way out was to cooperate. 3 years in prison for a ticket to freedom. What a colourful deal. After prison, $2 million for a vault stuff sounds like a great deal. Madeline thought she had the robbers cornered, but the boss started telling her a WW2 story talk about slowing down the pace of this entertaining flick. Then he pulled out a document with the Nazi logo, and boy, did that change the mood. Madeline instantly lost her swagger. Turns out she was being held like a talisman by the robbers. This meant she had to leave empty-handed, but once she walked out of the bank, she flipped back into her strong-willed politician persona. Talk about acting chops. She wouldn't tell Fraser a single thing, and viewing her behavior, he grew more convinced that everything was fishy. Fraser suddenly realized the recording of the Albanian president pleading for a plane too dramatic. Is someone orchestrating this? Subtitles. This meant they were carrying out some kind of plan. A sudden idea flashed in Fraser's mind, and he dialed the robber's number again. The plane is ready for the rescue, but I need to see the hostages safe. This sounded straight out of a screenplay. The head robber agreed. What a negotiable villain. A few minutes later, Fraser walked into the bank solo, and after a thorough pat-down, they finally walked him to the hostage room. Under moonlight, Fraser saw hostages in identical clothes seated against the wall with unruly ones bound, like a bad fashion show. This only confirmed his suspicions. If the robbers really wanted to escape, they wouldn't go through all this hassle. So he gave the head robber 2 options. Either give up and walk out with him, or face the police raid. A real multiple-choice question here. The head robber knew police protocols well. No raid without casualties or threats. A legal expert in robbery. I'll walk out the front door with my head held high, just not right now. Wow, what an attitude. Fraser, completely cornered by the robbers, could do nothing but leave sheepishly until he suddenly kicked out, trying to shove the head robber off the second floor. He struggled desperately, trying to rip off the robber's mask, only to be halted by the arriving thugs pointing guns. What a live-action showdown. Surprisingly, his sudden attack didn't even fluster the boss robber. He just threw a few tough lines and told his guys to let Fraser go. What a classy dude. But he was sure the robbers had something else up their sleeves. The head robber strutted into the bank's utility closet. What were they up to? He loudly asked his teammates about the prep time left. The digger said at least 3 more hours, a tight schedule. Meanwhile, Fraser found the SWAT leader, informing him robbers weren't killing, passing intel to SWAT. They are stalling by asking the police for a plane. We should consider an early rescue. What an intellectual game. But just as the shadow fell, the head robber called in, ordering the cameras to focus, clearly not wanting the situation to spiral. Unexpectedly, the robbers executed the first hostage. Fraser was furious and rushed to the bank's entrance, screaming while they did this. It was like the climax of a farce. The robber shot back that this was the price for not hinting at providing a plane. What a joke. But Fraser wasn't buying his nonsense. On top of that, the hostage's unexpected death obliterated his trust. What a dramatic twist. Last time, full command went to the SWAT captain, Howe commanding. Now the boss leads the assault. He obtained the bank blueprints, launching an assault in 3 hours. The first cops on scene sought the truth. But then the patrol cop spouted something racially insensitive, and that ruffled Fraser's feathers. What's the deeper meaning here? That little comment really put Fraser on alert. He dashed back to the command car and pried open that drawer where the robber was passing along intel. Sure enough, he found a listening device in there. No wonder they were being led around by the robbers. Talk about a decision-maker's blunder. Without hesitation, Fraser contacted the captain to call off the operation. It was too late.